Now this is not a usual day because what we have behind us is the Naran car, which is basically a hypercar, which is going to be 1000 horsepower and more, and it's only going to be sold 39 units in a year, priced at £2 million and above. Now that I have your attention, let's meet the man, Ameerh. Ameerh,
Hey,
thank you for having me actually and showing me this and giving me this exclusive preview. I know this is a prototype, but there's so much more I want to talk. First up, how did this idea come about? How long have you been working? And
well, it was a childhood dream to build my own car. At 4 years old, I decided one day I want to build my own car company. So at 14, I wrote to Ian Callum, who's head of design at Aston Martin and Jaguar, because the Vanquish, the first generation Vanquish, was my favorite car at the time.
Right.
And I wrote to Adrian van Hooydonk, who's head of BMW Design Works. Both wrote back to me very kindly as a 14-year-old boy in Zimbabwe with a life plan on how to go about it, and which I followed. I did an undergrad in industrial and product design with a focus on automotive. The plan was then to do a postgrad in vehicle design at the Royal College of Art, but I was also racing cars at the time with aspirations of Formula One.
Yeah.
And
of course, you fly private jets for a living, right?
Well,
you make living off the private jets.
I make a living off the private jets, yeah. So I decided, rather than work for a company and work my way up, I wanted to be at the helm. So went into business, hence the private jet business, which has been, really good to me.
So a lot of things are inspired from the love of flying, because I see a lot of these aero ducts and the shape is actually quite unique. Honestly, I can't try to relate this with anything that I've seen so far.
Well,
so that's something which is very unique. I have to give it to that. Apart from that, this is not the engine that will go on the market when you actually sell.
The engine is a 5-litre V8 producing 1000 horsepower. So, on the prototype, we're running at 600 horsepower because this is an early prototype, but production cars will be 1000 horsepower.
Are you not looking at V12?
Not for this model, no.
Not for this model. And I just recently saw your, can you take us through this design language? Like, what is it that is going to be different in the production language? Or is it this is what we get to see?
Homologation and crash testing will determine any changes, but our aim is for the production car to be as close to this as possible.
But if you sell less than 50 units, do you need to still do the crash testing?
We do. We're doing small series European as opposed to IVA. If we IVA'd it and sold each car individually, the requirements are lower, then we wouldn't have to. But because we're doing small series, we have to crash test.
You have to register. That's going to be a lot of pain to do crash test something like this.
Well, we want to make sure the car's safe for our occupants, so we're happy to do it.
So are you going to take this on a racetrack yourself? You think this is going to be...
It will be part of the testing process,
part of the testing process.
We will track the car.
It will pass your standards also.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be a diffuser? This is going to be like a permanent fixture, or it will change?
So, it's got a flat underfloor and the rear diffuser, which is producing downforce. But this wing produces 1,250 kilos of downforce at 200 kilometers per hour. We give the option of removing the rear wing. We then rebalance the front for a car with low drag, but you don't have the downforce.
Right.
So for more high speed.
Amazing, awesome. Now I want to sit on the driver's seat while you be on my passenger side.
Sure.
Because I want to fire up the engine with you sitting next to me. Why don't you just hop in?
Okay.
Thank you. Now this is all hand stitch leather.
This is hand stitched by students at the London School of Fashion. This is hand applied gold leaf. And this is just on one prototype, right? Every car will be completely unique and different.
You can make changes to whatever you want.
Oh, absolutely. So
I like the steering also, because very F1 inspired racing.
It's our own hydraulic steering rack, and lock to lock, it is going to be 90 degrees, so it doesn't need to turn all the way around, hence not needing a round wheel. And having a squared off bottom gives you more space for your legs.
Are you going to have anything here?
No, because I think if you look at older cars, what makes it really easy to identify a car's age is the screens, because that's where technology moves on. And this is a car I want people to buy and pass on to their children, pass on to their children, so become an heirloom. So we're trying to keep it as
classic
as possible.
And if you don't do hybrid, you're good.
No hybrid.
Exactly. This is what I love. The second thing. And the seats at the back, because I think there aren't many cars which is hypercar, sports car, and with 4 seats. But are you going to have that much legroom, or is it going to be more better space for people to sit?
I mean, this is a prototype. The rear on the production car will have more space. So you will have a space for 4 full-size adults.
And so finally, when do we get to see it on the road? When do you have the
first customers are receiving their cars 2027?
27. And when do we get to drive this car on the racetrack or wherever?
As journalists?
Yeah.
Sometime between now and then, probably 2026.
Nice. I'll wait until then. I'll live with this exhaust note, guys. And this is how it sounds. This does the part. You drop on the comments what you think about it and how cool does it sound. I'm going to give you one more sound bite, which is going to be on the link, which is going to tell you exactly how it sounds. See you on the next one. Thank you, Ameerh. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ameerh.
Thank you.